I told you this past week, they stopped me this past week. I told you about Rabbi Shushan. It's a fascinating story, and I told you this many times. How what happened was with him was this past month and a half, 2 months ago. It was a true story. He went out to sea. He went by the Tichon, and his name is Rav Moshe ben Shushan. And he went ahead, and the boat flipped over. The boat flipped over, and he was in the ocean for. He was stuck in the ocean for about 8 to 10 hours. Now you have to understand something. He told me, Beferush, he was with 5 people, and they knew they were dead. It was impossible to find them. It wasn't like you think there's boats around and things like that. It was pitch dark. And even if there would be a boat around, what, you think the boat's going to see him? You know how big the boat is? What, you think the light is on the sea? No, the light is further out. Impossible. And guess what? They held on for their lives, hour after hour after hour after hour after hour after hour. Let go, surrender. Nobody, in essence, wants to die. Now we go up to the question and say, I don't understand something. I don't understand. Why did that fellow that was going to death row, he wanted an extra hour to live? Why? Why? Second question I have is, you look further. Look at an animal, at a shore. Look at an ox. When the baby is born, the baby, it's not hard for the baby to walk. After I think a week or something like that, it starts walking. It follows its mother even right away. Look at the other animals right away. Us, a human being, how long does it to get to start walking? A minimum a year. Could we talk? How long do we talk? 2 years. We're talking. I don't understand that. By the animal, right away, he's talking this, that. He's speaking to his mother, this, that. But a human being, it's the opposite. It takes 2 years to talk, to develop, and then we grow. We have 13 years to grow, and we have this, and we finally get this. Well, I don't understand. Why don't we just grow right away? Wake up, boom, boom. Yeah. And then we got to go through the whole death process. It's not so easy. Well, an animal just dies. A human being, what happens to a human being? He gets older, gets sick a little bit, gets this, he can hardly walk. Go look at an 85-year-old, 90-year-old, go look. It's very hard for him to walk. His kochot ebb, his diminish. Okay, you have a few exceptions to the rule. Where a guy, 88 years old, you go, we're strong. I remember I was in Israel a few months ago. I went zip line. You know the zip line? I see who was in front of me, an 88-year-old man. No question, he went to the zip line. I'm serious. I think I have him on video. He went on the zip line, 88 years old, walking, talking, boom, boom, boom. Hey, wow, regular, I couldn't believe it. So you have the exception to the rule. But Rubadarov, you see a guy, he picture a zaken with his cane, and he's walking, 95, 93, whatever it is, his kochot eb. I was walking with an 80-year-old guy. He was telling me, you should know, I used to be able to walk from here to now. So why does she make it like that? Right, animal, we eat the animal, and the animal has that more strength than us. How can it be at the end of life? Everybody hears the questions? The answer is like this. The explanation to all this is very simple. We have to know, an animal, his whole essence is this world. That's his whole essence. The whole essence of an animal is this world. That's it. If this world, what? That's it. It's over. Nothing. But the Adam, by the human being, it just begins. It's not over. It just begins. It's the beginning stage. And when it's the beginning stage, then already it's a whole different situation. Havetz Chaim, I was reading an unbelievable story. Havetz Chaim, there was a 25-year-old Bachur. He was sitting down, he was learning and this, that, and he came for Shabbat for the meal at Havetz Chaim's house. Havetz Chaim looked at him, and Havetz Chaim told him a question. And he's in the 90s, Havetz Chaim. And he tells the young guy, he tells him, where do you think I'm going to be in 25 years from now? Answer me, where do you think I'm going to be in 25 years from now? So he doesn't want to answer in the grave, he doesn't want to stay. So the Hamasim looks at him, where am I going to be 50 years from now? He looks at him again. Where am I going to be in 1,000 years from now? He looks at him again. Where am I going to be in 1,000,000 years from now? Where am I going to be in 1,000,000,000 years from now? And he says in Olam Haba. In Olam Haba, where there's eternal, where there's eternity. And that's why people never want to die. You know why people never want to die? They don't want to die. Even the last breath, they don't want to die. You know why? Because they understand that the smallest mitzvah, the smallest good deed that you do in this world, you connect trillions of trillions of trillions of trillions in Olam Haba. So why would a person want to go, you know what I can do in 1 minute? You know what I can do? You know what they bring down? They always say this. They say it's such a beautiful point that they bring it down. They say the whole world would have been worth it to be created. The whole world will be worth it to be created if one person got up and said Baruch Hu u'Baruch Shemo. That's it. The world would be created. Imagine the whole 6 days of creation, the sun, the galaxies, the Milky Way. You know how big, you're just looking at Brooklyn. You know how big the whole world is? New York, America, everything like that. You know how crazy the world is? The ocean, this, that. It's worth it. The animals and everything like that, worth it? For one person to come alive, the worth of it 6,000 years. 6,000 years, if one person would come and say, Baruch Hu u'Baruch Shemo. That's it. And the world collapsed. It was worth it. The world could be created. Malachim and everything. They say, and one Amen, they said in one eulogy one time, I forgot it was Slobodka, I think it was ultimate Slobodka, they said, one Amen is worth 1,000 Baruch Hu u'Baruch Shemos. One Yeh Shemer Haba is worth 1,000 Amens. And one word of Torah is worth 1,000 Yeh Shemer Habas. One word of Torah. A guy says, one word. Over here, you're listening to Divrei Hazuk, listening to Divrei Torah. One word. Think about your calculations in Shamayim, in Olam Haba, in Gan Eden, what you're gaining. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You're rocking it in. You're a multi-billionaire. People, they walk around like sometimes they feel depressed, they feel down. Why? I don't have so much food, I can't buy that, I can't. Oh, do you know who you are, Dachilak? One mitzvah, you're a billionaire. One mitzvah, you're a billionaire. And really, and that's the emet. That is the emet, to be honest. You know, people get a tumult, right? They get, and I saw there was one rabbi, Rabbi Yehuda Leib Chasman, and he said if a person would take all the hana'ah, all the pleasure from a person that he lived from the beginning of creation to the last day of the creation, put all the hana'ah, the pleasures of every single, let's say, human being on the planet in one capsule. Swallow that pill. You know how crazy the sensation that is? It doesn't equal to the waiting room of the Gan Eden. You didn't even get into Gan Eden yet, and you're having the sniff. It's like you're waiting, you're still chilling out, you're sitting down, and you're having a sniff. Oh my goodness, what is this? This is crazy. This is wild. You know, the Gaon of Vilna, I say this story, but it's such a beautiful story. The Gaon of Vilna's wife and her friend were collecting charity, tzedakah, for poor people. And one time, they went ahead and they said, they made a deal. Whoever dies first comes to them in a dream and speaks to them and tells them what's their Olam Haba. So, the friend passed away. She came to the Gaon of Vilna's wife in the dream. Said, look, I'm in Olam Haba now. I cannot tell you what goes on over here. I can't tell you. But one thing I can tell you. Remember that day we were walking one time and we saw a wealthy guy, and I got excited a little bit, and I said, oh, here's him. There he is. Let's ask him for the poor. That excitement that I had, just that little, the little point. I'm getting crazy schar in Shamayim. I'm getting crazy reward in Shamayim. My Olam Haba, my reward. You can't fathom it. You can't imagine. You can't what's going on over here. So now how does the Yesod play with us? So if that's the case, he says, okay, I learn 1 hour a day. I'm good. You know how much mitzvot I get? I do one mitzvah a day, I'm a billionaire. You're right, but you want to know something? You can gain so much more. Why would you sell yourself short?